For the past 54 years that we have been serving the land development industry, we have witnessed little change in the way cities regulate, judge submittals, and approve developments. Virtually every other industry has evolved with drastic improvements in their product offerings, except the land developments that make up the fabric and foundation of the world's cities. The estimated 200,000 people who volunteer their precious time to serve on planning commissions and councils in the USA alone do so to enact positive change in their communities. But it's rare that the developments offer anything above the cookie-cutter pattern of past centuries. Let's look at this clip from 1957.
The suburbs. Almost as much written about as Madison Avenue. There is a whole new generation coming, soon to be young adults. A bigger than ever market of people who have a history of their own.
Today, you and I live in a period of tremendous growth. Across the United States, new homes are springing up by the thousands for our rapidly growing population. People can escape from the crowded cities and move outward in search of open space to build their homes and raise their families. Eventually, as one subdivision blends with the next, urban sprawl destroys open space. Regional planning groups are attempting to solve the problems of urban sprawl. The drafting board of the planning engineer must reflect all the broad concepts for orderly urban development. Plans can establish a pattern of land use that recognizes long-range values and the total needs of people.
Cities expect the developer to submit exciting new communities with attainable housing, but the developer almost never designs a site. Their engineer, acting as a land planner, is most often assigned that task. The engineer looks at regulatory minimums and thinks jamming in as many units compressed together as close as possible as the regulations allow will please their profit-hungry clients. After all, meeting the exact minimums guarantees approval no matter how mundane. Those sacrificing their precious evenings to judge these submittals complain and blame that innocent developer for having the developer's consultants adhere to the minimums that the city creates. Today's two-dimensional submittals look identical to those a half a century ago, often using visual trickery of pastel colors on paved surfaces and buildings, along with green tree stamps to convince those approving developments that there is far more open area than will ultimately be built. Talk about a flawed system. In the end, blame is placed on the land developer. Why? Have you ever seen a movie where the developer is the good character? The developer is the scapegoat for huge flaws in the city's regulatory and approval system. Meanwhile, the development submittal, in an attempt to make the most minuscule possible lot size, does so by creating excessive infrastructure length, typically about 25%. This excessive street and utility main length, combined with the excessive earthwork often needed, wipes out the very profits that the developer seeks and results in the least real estate values. In other words, burdening the city with the highest costs and the lowest value tax base. LandMentor was developed specifically to improve every aspect of growth and redevelopment, something no GIS or CAD software vendor has addressed. LandMentor changes the way the city staff, planning, and council will judge development by teaching how to recognize waste while providing the technology to communicate it to the developer at initial submittal stages when changes can be easily made. Imagine when the city can demonstrate that the submittal of that 100-lot development has over $1 million in waste and exactly where that waste is. The developer then can demand a better and more efficient design from the consultant they hired, or continue through the approval process and lose $10,000 in lot profit. This top-down approach puts the city in control of their future while also increasing the developer's bottom line. It's a win-win situation. The combination of the education and advanced, quick-to-learn, and simple-to-use technology included in LandMentor will teach everyone involved in growth how to create more efficient and safer vehicular and pedestrian systems, better land use transitions, more successful commercial centers, showcasing along arterial streets, and adding more premium locations, and much more. For building a precision mapping base for the city's GIS system, there simply is no better system than LandMentor. And finally, LandMentor provides the 3D technology to easily review every submittal with interactive 3D and immersive VR as if playing a video game, because that's exactly what it is.